Well, I'm sat here with Richard Bates of Bates Wharf. Richard, you are one of the best known, best loved faces within the marine industry. You and your company have such a history at the heart of the marine industry here in the UK. Tell us a little bit about your background and the background of Bates Wharf. It's a name, as I say, at the heart of the British marine industry.
Yeah, thank you, Hugo. Yeah, I at the age of 16, back in 1987, I literally started my apprenticeship, which was originally marine engineering. So I did 3 years of that, covering basically all marine engines, gearboxes, plumbing, wiring, etc. And during that period, that was my first boat show, 1987, working with Pentonurk on Sea Ray. And then I went on to do the Southampton course, which still exists today, basically an HND, which is yacht and boatyard management, that gave me boat building, design, in all the different materials, all the wood technologies, carbon, cold moulded, remember them all. Literally, boat building, a brilliant course. As I say, there are people still doing it today. And that is also with a business study module. So accounts, business law, so you touch on everything. The interesting one on the Southampton course back then, and probably not today, was we literally did lofting. So the traditional way of building a boat, they took you all through literally the stages. We had to draw a boat and then loft it full size. So you get your lines, and so literally every facet of this industry I have time served studied. And I can sit with a designer today. I can do laminate thicknesses,
well, I didn't know that.
Wiring. I can do free phase. Literally every single thing I need in this industry, I can physically do. Sit with a designer. I'm not as good as them, but they won't lose me. I'll know what I'm doing. I rewrite the pontoon this morning. You name it.
That's amazing.
That is, I think, a difference. Well, basically, I do know what I'm talking about. And then, obviously, 1992, when the industry went very hard, we basically, my then partner, David De Vere, left Sea Ray, and we joined up and we came back to our family boatyard, W. Bates. That is the traditional boat where we built the Starcraft, my great great granddad. I could say started the marine industry. Certainly, we were famous in lots of ways. So he was president of the British Marine, then the SBB&F, then the BMIF and the BM, and so it happens. And that was 1925 to 1926, literally 100 years ago this year.
That's extraordinary.
He's on the board.
That's extraordinary.
Would have been nice if I got on there for this year, wouldn't it? That would have been a real marker, but a little bit busy to take that on board as well.
Yes, yeah. What a history that your family has had with this industry over all those years. Now, of course, the marine industry is notorious for its highs and lows, isn't it?
Yeah.
The good times, but also those storms that come. We're going through difficult times now, challenging times. Yeah. But with your tenacity, the strength of your company's brand, its name, I'm sure that you're determined to weather whatever we've yet to face. But as you say, you know your stuff. That gives you an edge, surely, on your competitors, really knowing the subject.
Yeah. I'm 59 now, and my children are both in the company. Children, they're 30 and 32, but all here working the standards, the next generation. Obviously, we were born into it, growing. I've only ever known boats, so everything in this industry, I've seen it, experienced it. 92 was a big recession, a traditional one, as I called it. Margaret, bless her. The 09 one was a whopper, similar to this, bit more, not so tangible, not obvious. The 92 one was you seeing miners and strikes and lots of depressing stuff.
Yeah.
The 09 one was city and banking and all stuff that's not really tangible to your everyday thing, but then it certainly happened. Everyone suddenly tightened their belts. that year I had an music story. One of our strengths is multi-brand. So I've always tried to cover entry level, mid level, high quality, big, across the board. We own our own marina. Obviously, that's a good base. My daughter now runs all the service, and this year we've introduced Boat Club.
Okay.
I think you're going to ask me later on about how the industry is changing. But if you think that's a massive thing, not just us, walk around this show today, you're going to see a lot of boat clubs, which is a sign of the times. You know, when a speedboat used to be 10,000 to start, and now you're talking about more like 40 or 50,000, or upwards 100. The ratio of a boat to your main asset being your house, all of those things have changed. So the boat club is a new way of opening up the market.
You're right.
I hope I'm right. I've only started last June.
No. I'm sure you're right. It's a wonderful way of introducing new people to the pastime and helping them to get a taste of the pastime and a love for it, which then may well lead into them actually taking up ownership of their own boat.
That's what we hope. So far on that one, the customers are not what I did expect, and the trade attitude is a little bit defensive about club, because they tend to see it as, it's going to take away a sale, but that's not my experience so far. These people are coming in and going, wow, I can. Well, it's basically £450 a month. So if you try to put that in the context of buying a 25-footer now is 80 to 100,000. That's 30,000 deposit, 700 a month, then 3 to 5 to moor it, then 3 to 5 to service it. Or they come to my club and they've got 9 boats to choose from, 450 a month. Everything.
I think you've convinced me to sign up.
Yeah, no, don't put that around to me. I've still got to sell a few as well.
So the nature of the industry has changed a great deal over the years. When was the first time you came to Southampton Boat Show? And how have you seen the show itself change?
Yeah, well, like I say, 1987 was my first, as a 16 apprentice, all big, wow, what's going on? I personally believed I had to do all of that training because I wanted to know what I'm doing. I'm living in a boatyard, remember, bouncing around on big lumps of wood and watching big boats being built and frames and timbers and keels being laid. And so when I actually studied it, it did all make sense because I'd seen it. And then I suppose, you know, I spent most of my life on a 40-foot Starcraft with me and my mate in the front and my mum, dad and my sister in the back, and their daughters crammed in here, and the other 2 parents could have had the makeup, but they did a lilo, a blow-up lilo, as in, you know, a little bit of, a bit like glamping. Yes. Well, it's not even like glamping nowadays, is it? So I suppose if you look at the way we live, if you look at the cars we drive and the technology, look at our phone now. Yep. It's got more computer power than the first moon landing and we're all used to that. And that is setting and raising the bar, people's expectations, and size. I mean, size amazes me. I've down there, I've got a 60 and a 68-footer. Which to me are enormous. So you've all got your own cabin with ensuite, 68-footer, 4, and another crew for 2, and another toilet shower, all air con, massive generator, enough to power Southampton. Yeah. And this is becoming the must-have, the norm, which is completely unrecognisable to me, or the way I've lived. So yeah, and you see it top to bottom.
Yes. People's expectations growing all the time.
And of course, you know, all the sides have got to open up like a transformer and it's going up and down. And
Well, this next question will be an interesting one. And you'll most definitely want to hold the microphone a little bit nearer to you for this. But in what are there changes that you would like to see made in the marine industry, perhaps? Things that it could do better Are there changes about this show, perhaps, that you think, bearing in mind it's the biggest UK showcase for the industry, that you would like to see taken and made in order to improve it or steer it in another direction? With all that experience that you have, it'd be interesting to gain your opinion of where we need to take things.
Well, that's very political because I am on some of the subcommittees and boards steering this show. There's a big meeting coming next week. And I'm directly involved in the big end. So it's a little bit focused. So if you take all Sunseeker, Azimut, all the big guys, we're taking a look at that aspect. So it's what I need to do is to give you a broader view because there's a lot of, that's the whole point. The show represents a massive body. You've got chandleries, you've got canoes, a whole rake. So not an easy job, is it, to represent all of those people fairly. I think the show do a good job. I campaign vehemently not to make it this late.
Yes.
Purely for logic.
Yes.
I would want it earlier.
Yeah.
This, there's lots of problems. Obviously, Southampton give up this park for free, as it happens, but we have a massive cost of building the boat show. There are answers to that we campaign for. Every other country in Europe uses an existing marina, which obviously necessitates displacing all those poor people. MDL have offered that with Ocean Village. So there are lots of things where the industry, the BMF wants to stay with the plan, obviously, but we're saying, well, we need to have a look. It's too expensive doing it the way we are, so that's a threat. So to the industry, the market is hard at the moment. We're all slightly overstocked. We all had a very good time, surprisingly, after COVID. We had the initial shock of COVID, and suddenly we normally do about 150 a year because I sell, Bayliner, but volume brands, and up to the high volume. And after COVID, where we thought, oh my God, 160 boats in 4 months out of 3 places.
Incredible.
Then we fell into the following boat show, if you remember, got cancelled. Yes. Oh my God. And then the next year, we were running 10 million average, and we went from 10 to 20 in 1 year. We walked in this boat show and sold 14 million of stock. All the top to bottom, couldn't get them fast enough.
Extraordinary, yeah.
And all of this has obviously exacerbated where we are today, because we couldn't get an engine, you couldn't get an air conditioner. No. We're screaming for stock. And then by the time, I would say the following show, 23, was artificially feeling good in the sense that the money was, we were selling boats second-hand for more than they were new the previous year, off the back of the... So all of these factors, it's difficult to... Well, it's not that difficult. We saw massive inflation driven by supply and demand, and now we've stalled because the supply and demand is the other way around. As simple as that. So now we're in a slowdown. We've got to clear the stock, and I'm pretty convinced it'll happen again. Is that once we're out of that, and then the demand will grow, and it is supply and demand.
That's it.
As we see it, there's a lot of stock about, so we need to shift.
Like a sequence of waves. Yeah.
So
the peaks and troughs.
Come slightly off the subject. How could we improve the show? Well, obviously, last year, if you remember, we were so lucky. Every single day, it was as good as can. Beautiful, clear blue sky. We are, after all, selling a dream, not a nightmare. So put that in, translate that into logic. I'd say, get it in the summer. Politically, is the big issue. The big boys don't want it to clash, but not to clash in a pure sense means at least 2 or 3 weeks. Otherwise, this year I was fortunate. I worked the whole can show, which I normally can't. Normally I have the meetings, I have to get back for this. This is we are, as UK, all my investment is here. So personally, I'd like it earlier. And like I say, there's lots of meetings and lots of views, and none of us can agree which way's up, basically, with all the different views. So,
Well, very interesting. Really interesting to hear your thoughts, Richard. It really is. And we appreciate that. You speak with much experience and authority. So, to wrap it up, who are you representing now? Tell us briefly then, what brands you're proudly representing? Because you've got a great cross-section.
we do, yeah. So Bayliner, I guess, for us has been since 1995. Never with a break. We are officially dealer, but actually distributor. We stock 20, 30 of those on a rolling stock basis. I run and pay and do all the shows, and they dip in and out as they feel like it, depending on the market. So I've taken them through the rough and years and years of just keep that brand alive. Beneteau, huge.
Yes.
Actually, I think they are the biggest volume builder.
They are.
Beneteau Group, because that includes Jeanneau and all those others. So we're Beneteau Outboard Power. So both of those I've covered literally entry level. We've got 20,000 for a little element, right up to about 120. And then Beneteau is very popular. Cabin boats. We're Northern Europe, so that's a big change. We were huge America. Now it's the French, the Europeans have come in with all the pêche promenade, as we used to call it. We've got with Brig here. Brig and Iron are a massive brand, as you can see, hugely supported. I'm only interested in something with absolute pedigree. Long-standing. All of my brands I've had for 30 plus years. Yeah. Rand has been 15. I took to replace Chris Craft. So I was Chris Craft for years.
I remember that.
Then but it's America, and they're struggling with the tariffs and lot of cost problems, and basically, I felt Rand was as a European brand. Was a better bet for that.
Cutting edge.
Just
too.
to give me not volume, just something high quality.
Yeah. Good. And Azimuth, of course.
And then our top brand for aimed at the high end of UK, or typically in the Med, is Azimuth, which are 45 through to 44 metre. With the Grande range, that takes me abroad, obviously selling into the Med. And we do have this mainland Spain Balearics officially with offices in Banús and Marbella to support it.
When all is said and done, you are a brave man. It's not an industry for the faint-hearted, this one. And you've got to think long term, haven't you? And you are living evidence of that, and as is your company. And how proud you must be that here you are, 100 years on, and the Bates Wharf flag is flying high still with you at the helm. So congratulations, Richard. It's a great privilege to spend these few moments with you, hearing about your business and your take on the industry.
Yeah, very kind.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.